LinkedIn have had this very loose definition of what budgets are for a long time. You can set a daily budget, but LinkedIn allows themselves to overspend that daily budget by up to 50% every day. It's not like Google where eventually they'll underspend somewhere else and make it up. No, they just overspend by 50% every day. And then compounded by that is the fact that LinkedIn's recommended bid type that they throw at you is called maximum delivery. And that's the most expensive way to pay for your traffic 90% of the time. But if you don't know better to avoid that option and go to like a manual cost per click bid, then you're really confused. Like, oh, why is LinkedIn spending, uh, you know, like 1.5 times my budget every single day? And why am I paying $20 to $40 per click? That's insane. So when you choose the correct option, you bid manually, then LinkedIn throws another trick at you, which is, hey, we think you should be bidding in this range. And their recommended range is also crazy. They're telling you should be bidding like $20 to $90 per click. So what I do is I just don't take their advice at all. I start with a cost per click bid and I bid something low, like maybe $7 per click if I'm targeting in North America. And the worst thing that can happen if I'm underbidding is I just don't spend my daily budget that day. And I may have to come back tomorrow and bid a little higher. I might have to bid 750 or $8. But my goal is to find what is that bid level where I just barely am spending my daily budget, and but I'm not overpaying for it. And that's the struggle is LinkedIn's not going to take care of your budget for you. You need to do it yourself. And obviously it takes a little bit of guess and check to do it.
Okay, yeah, that's really great advice. So that's for LinkedIn. So what about something like Facebook or Google? How is it different in that sense?
I'm not, I don't, I'm not nearly as authoritative in the other networks because I've been
Okay.
like 100% on LinkedIn for the last like 14 years.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah, that's fine.
but my general understanding of the other platforms is they're a lot kinder to your budget.
Mm.
Where if you give them a budget, more or less they'll stick to it. Whereas LinkedIn likes to overspend and they don't hold themselves accountable.
Okay, okay, right, okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, those were really great tips. So are there any particular tools or like maybe spreadsheets that you use to manage your budget? What are the ways that you organize yourself?
Yeah, I think this is our biggest challenge because when I went to go start my agency, I found that you have to have business insurance. And my biggest, what do you call that? My biggest exposure in business is if I overspend someone's budget, if I spend someone's money that they did not tell me it was okay to spend. And like, that's the biggest thing I'm worried about getting sued for. So I check to see like, does insurance cover that? And no insurance covers this. So what you're asking is a really important question. It's if I overspend a client's budget, I could be shut down. I could lose my whole company. And so because of that, we've had to take this really seriously. And we use a tool called shape.io, and it's got a couple of really cool options. So it integrates into LinkedIn, which not every tool does, obviously. We're kind of the redheaded stepchild, which I can say as a redhead. We're kind of the redheaded stepchild of the PPC world. So it will track your budget. It will show you how what sort of budget you're probably going to land at based on past performance. But you can also set an option that says, hey, once my budget hits this certain amount, shut them all off. So that's been a good insurance policy for us to use with clients just to make sure we don't overspend.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think a lot of people still use spreadsheets, which is quite surprising, I suppose, with the amount of tools and technology out there now. But I guess people kind of can be set in their ways, maybe scared to move on from something like that that they have maybe feel like they have more control over rather than one of these tools that can automate things.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good spreadsheet, especially if that spreadsheet is updated automatically. There are a few
Mm.
tools with LinkedIn that will do this, that will, push data right to a Google Sheet or something. And so I love spreadsheets as much as anyone else. But I realize if I ever have to copy data over from LinkedIn into a spreadsheet to track it, I know I'm going to miss something. I know I'm going to be several days behind. And when you get to the last week of a month, where this is the point where you could be way overspending a budget or under. It's better to do something that is automatically updated.
Yes, completely agree. It's always, susceptible to human error, I think. Spreadsheets, which is where technology can come in and kind of take control of that and,
Totally.
make sure that it's all accurate. So I suppose what would you say, what is your kind of top tip for anyone who's looking to improve their PPC budget management? Is there one thing, one tool, one way that you would say that they could use to improve themselves?
With LinkedIn, I would say specifically start really paying attention to your bid levels and what they're allowing your campaigns to spend.
Mhm.
Because if you ever get to a point where you're like, oh, it looks like a $9 bid is what it's going to take to get these campaigns to spend what I want them to, it would be very, very rare for something to massively change and where all of a sudden you started overspending. So early on, learning your campaigns, learning what you need to bid, and then getting those amounts dialed in to where you're at least in the right ballpark. I think that's the best advice I can give you because it's going to make sure that all the way for the future, that campaign is never going to way, way overspend. It may overspend a little because there are some good days on any PPC platform, but it's like an insurance policy.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think you've covered a lot of the points that I wanted to go over, like the fact that spreadsheets are susceptible to human
Yep.
error and how difficult it can be to keep on budget and to keep on track, overspending or underspending. So I think you've hit everything that I wanted to cover. Is there anything else that you would want to maybe share?
Um, I don't think
Any kind
so.
of
I think I
personal insight maybe that you've like experience that you've had um with PPC budget management that has yeah, has
oh, just the fact that PPC budget management is so scary. The stakes are so high. Like you could lose the client
Mm.
by overspending a budget, making it look like you didn't care about their money. Yeah, it's so scary. It's definitely something you have to take really seriously, especially in agencies where you have less experienced people, oftentimes running and touching accounts. They all need to be trained in this. That the stakes really are high, and you really have to pay attention.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, AJ. That was great. That was everything I needed.
Good. Okay.
Right,
Thanks
I'll
so much
just
for doing the interview. This is so much easier to record than knowing I
y-
have to go and hit record myself.
yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, it makes it more fluid, I guess. Like it makes it
Yeah.
flow better, doesn't it? I'll just stop the recording.